Welcome back to Discussions with the Grump, the podcast where common sense comes to die and I sit here trying to make sense of the world around me. I'm your host, and today we're talking about something that has become one of the great tests of human patience: Florida drivers. Now, before anyone gets offended, understand this. If you're one of the good ones, this isn't about you. If you're one of the people who uses turn signals, understands what a stop sign means, and doesn't treat Interstate 95 like you're qualifying for the Daytona 500, congratulations. You're one of the rare and endangered species of Florida. I'm talking about the rest of them, and there seem to be a lot of them. Every time I leave the house in Florida, I don't feel like I'm going on a drive. I feel like I'm entering a gladiator arena. I put my seatbelt on, I start the engine, and immediately begin mentally preparing for the nonsense I'm about to witness. Will someone cut across 3 lanes of traffic without signaling? Probably. Will someone be driving 20 miles under the speed limit in the left lane while creating a traffic jam that stretches halfway to another county? Almost certainly. Will someone suddenly decide they need to make a right turn from the far left lane? There's a decent chance. Driving in Florida isn't transportation, it's survival. Let's discuss turn signals, because apparently they're optional in Florida. These magical little lights that tell other human beings what you're about to do. Simple concept. You move a lever, a light blinks, people know where you're going. Amazing technology. Apparently, Florida drivers have collectively decided this technology is either too complicated or somehow classified information. Nobody signals. Nobody. 1 second they're driving straight, the next second they're making a hard turn across traffic like they're responding to a secret mission from headquarters. No warning, no indication, just chaos. And then they look at you like you're the problem. And now let's talk about one of my personal favorites, the left lane campers. The people who somehow believe the passing lane is their private vacation property. They get into the left lane, they pick a speed, and they stay there forever. Traffic stacks up behind them like a parade. Cars everywhere, people trying to get around. Meanwhile, they're completely unaware. Maybe they're texting. Maybe they're daydreaming. Maybe they're listening to whale sounds. I don't know. What I do know is they have no business being there. The left lane is for passing, not sightseeing, not meditation, not reconnecting with nature. Move. And then you have merging. A simple process. One lane becomes another. Everybody works together. Everybody adjusts. Traffic flows. Not in Florida. In Florida, merging is apparently interpreted as a personal attack. Some drivers refuse to let anyone in. They'll accelerate just to block you. You'll have your turn signal on. You'll have plenty of room. You'll begin merging. And suddenly, they're flooring it like they're defending the last remaining water source in the desert. What is wrong with people? You're not losing a championship. You're not surrendering territory. It's one car. Relax. Then you have the speed demons. The people who think every road is a racetrack. You'll be driving 10 over the speed limit. Not enough. 20 over. Still not enough. They appear in your rearview mirror at approximately the speed of light. For a brief moment, all you see are headlights. Then they blast around you. Then around everyone else. Then disappear into the horizon. Usually while weaving through traffic like they're starring in an action movie nobody asked for. I always wonder if these people ever arrive anywhere significantly faster, because it seems like a lot of risk just to save 4 minutes. Phone zombies. Let's be honest. Half the drivers aren't even driving anymore. They're scrolling, they're texting, they're checking social media, they're watching videos. I wish I was exaggerating. You can literally look over and see people staring directly into their phones while operating a 2-ton vehicle. The light turns green. Nothing. Traffic starts moving. Nothing. Everyone waits. Then eventually someone honks. And suddenly they wake up from whatever digital universe they were visiting. Meanwhile, everyone behind them is questioning their life choices. Nobody knows where they're going. Another Florida specialty. The sudden realization. You've seen it. I've seen it. We're all victims of it. A driver passes their turn, then instantly decides they absolutely must get back to it. No problem. They'll stop, turn, cross traffic, cut people off, create confusion, possibly violate several laws of physics. Anything except continue to the next available turn, because apparently missing a turn is unacceptable, even if it means causing a small transportation crisis. And yes, we have to mention the tourists. Now I understand Florida attracts people from everywhere. They're on vacation. They're unfamiliar with the roads. That's understandable. But some days it feels like half the state is trying to navigate using pure guesswork. You can always tell. They're moving unpredictably. They're braking randomly. They're looking around like they just landed on another planet. And unfortunately, they're sharing the road with people who already drive like lunatics. It's a combination that should probably be studied by scientists. But here's why it gets under my skin. It's not just an annoyance. It's the complete lack of awareness. The complete lack of consideration. Driving is one of the few activities where everybody's safety depends on everybody else paying attention. That's the agreement. That's the social contract. Yet every day it feels like some people get behind the wheel and decide none of that applies to them. They're the main character. Everyone else is just background scenery. And that's exactly what makes it so frustrating. So if you're listening to this while driving through Florida right now, first of all, keep your eyes on the road. Second, use your turn signal. Third, get out of the left lane if you're not passing. And remember, there are actual human beings around you trying to get where they're going without experiencing a near-death experience before breakfast. As for me, I'll continue doing what I've always done. Driving defensively, expecting nonsense, and somehow surviving another day on the roads of the Sunshine State. Because at this point, every successful trip feels less like transportation and more like a victory. Thanks for listening to Discussions with the Grump. If you enjoyed today's rant, share it with a friend, especially the friend who insists they're a great driver while doing everything I talked about in this episode. Until next time, stay safe, stay sane, and try not to lose your mind in traffic.